This is a math lesson for page 281 and 282. Again, if you have your chart 38, you'll need that. And we're going to talk a little bit and review some on plane figures and solid figures. Remember that we talked about the polygon, a triangle, a quadrilateral, a pentagon, a hexagon, and an octagon. Those are all plane figures. They're done on a plane, all on the same plane, which is a flat surface. The solid figures are three-dimensional, just like we talked about a cube on our last lesson. It has dimension. It kind of sticks out. It's not just flat. And so we have our chart here with our solid figures, and they want us today to do a Venn diagram on your figures about faces and edges. And we know that with our regular polygons, we have sides, we have angles, and we have vertices. And with our solid figures, we have faces, we have edges, and we have vertices. And so we talked about those yesterday. And if you look at the top of your workbook page, you need to listen to me. It says, for faces and curved surface. Now, if you remember a Venn diagram, there's part that's overlapping, which means it has both faces and curved surfaces. So if you will get your workbook page and your chart 38, that will help you as we do this. So, you have your chart, and I am going to go through these with you. And so, a cube. Does it have faces? Well, yes it does. Remember, it has the 6 faces. Does it have a curved surface? Well, there are no surfaces. So, you have these that are labeled faces, and the other one is labeled curved surfaces. So where are we going to put cube? Well, we're going to just put it over here with faces. And you can write the word cubed. And we're going to draw a cube. So here we have a cube. And so we have labeled that. If I write cube up there, I know you're not going to see it. But you can write cube so you know what it is. Our next figure is a rectangular prism. So does it have faces? Well, yes, we have faces. Does it have a curved surface? Well, no, it doesn't have any curved surfaces. So where are we going to put that? We're going to put it with faces also. So, and again, you can write rectangular prism there. So that is a rectangular prism. It doesn't have any curved surfaces, but it has faces. And we talked about a triangular pyramid. And does it have faces? It sure does. Does it have a curved surface? Well, there are no curved surfaces. So where are we going to put that one? It will go under faces also. So there is my rectangular pyramid. All right, what about a sphere? Do we have any faces? No, no faces. Do we have a curved surface? Yes. So we are going to put that with the curved surfaces. And that is a sphere. All right. What about a cylinder? Does it have any faces? It does. Does it have any curved surfaces? It does. So where do we put the cylinder? Well, we are going to put it here where it overlaps. It has faces, and it has curved surfaces, so we are going to put our cylinder here. And there is our cylinder. And our last one we have is a cone, like an ice cream cone or maybe a birthday hat. So, does it have any faces? It has a face. Does it have any curved surfaces? It has a curved surface. So, where will we put that one? We will put it with faces and curved surfaces. So we're going to put it there. And so that should complete your chart at the top of your page. Here, you can put all those in there. And then it says use the word bank and label each part of each figure. So now let's look. This is a quadrilateral. This is a plane figure. It's not three-dimensional. It's not a solid figure. So this would be what? The arrow, that number 1 arrow is pointing right there at that line. And what is that going to be? Well, that is going to be a side. I'm sorry, they do want this as one side of your three-dimensional or your solid figure here. So this is a side. This would be what? It would be a face. And this point down here is going to be a vertex. Or yes, it does have vertex written there. So vertex. If it's more than one, then it's vertices. So again, here, number 4, what is this going to be up here? It's going to be a vertex. So you need to write vertex on number 4. This is going to be what? It will be a face. And then what is this here? It is a side. So 4 is a vertex, 5 is side, and, 5 is a face, sorry about that, 6 is side. The throat's getting dry, excuse me. So, number 1 is side, number 2 is face, number 3 is vertex, 4 is vertex, 5 is face, 6 is side. All right, let's go down here to number 7. And this is a face. So you need to write face in there. Number 8, all down this edge here is what? Well, it's an edge. Mrs. Henry told you, didn't she? And then number 9, this point right here would be a vertex. So number 7 is face, number 8 is edge, number 9 is vertex. Then number 10, we have our cone. And the very tip top of that cone is what? Well, it would be a vertex. So you need to write vertex in there. And then number 11, what is this pointing to? Well, it is a curved surface. Yes, you need to write curved surface. Yes, I know it will be hard to squeeze it all in there if you have to go off the line. That is okay, but you need to write the word curved surface there. And then number 12, they're pointing to the bottom of that cone, which would be here. So what would that be? That would be a face. So you need to write face on number 12. So number 10 is a vertex, 11 is curved surface, and 12 is face. When you're done with all of that, on the back side, it says circle the objects that look like the solid figure. So you've got to think about this. So this is a cylinder. And remember, a cylinder can be like a can of vegetables or something. It can be, this. It's a short can. So you got to think about the cylinder. So I will give you a hint that there are 2 in each row. So when we look at cylinder, does the traffic cone look like a cylinder? No, it looks like a cone. What about the cake? Well, it's shorter and fatter, but it is a cylinder, so you will circle the cake. What about the can of soup? Well, we've already talked about that. Looks exactly like a cylinder, so you're going to circle it. So 2 and 3 also have 2 answers. So I'll let you do those. And then down here it says put an X in the box of the solid figure has faces, edges, vertices, or curved surface. Again, it doesn't ask you how many, it just asks you if it has those. So a sphere, does it have edges? Or does it have a face? Does it have edges? Does it have a vertices? Or does it have a curved surface? You just simply put an X in the boxes where it does. Then at the bottom, you're going to review temperature and the Fahrenheit scale. Remember, we use the Fahrenheit scale to tell the temperature, maybe outside. Maybe mom takes your temperature with a Fahrenheit scale. And remember that in science, we don't use the Fahrenheit scale, We use the Celsius scale, and it's done a little differently. But here you're going to write the temperature to we're not rounding or anything. So when you look at number 5, there's 20, and remember that next little hash mark, that's 25. So 25, remember the circle is degrees, and that big uppercase F is Fahrenheit. So they want you to do those. On 11 and 12, they want you to shade the temperature to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, and this one is 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Remember not to be sloppy in this, but to color nice and neat, and just don't make lines all over the place. It needs to sharply end at 15. All right, thank you.